This is me grinding an insane amount of sand in Hypixel Skyblock, and today I'm setting out on my journey in hardcore Ironman. No trading, no using the bazaar, and of course, no dying. It's a challenge to balance safety and progression because if I die even once, I have to delete this profile. This is my journey through the hardest Skyblock challenge of all time, hardcore Ironman. First things first, I navigate around the hub to grab the rogue sword and complete our first quest by talking to 12 villagers. I collect a bunch of seeds and wheat to sell for some starter cash and then head over to the fisherman to purchase a full set of angler armor and equipment. Making sure we're at least somewhat tanky is going to be crucial because again, if I die just once, that's it. It's over. I purchase a quick pickaxe and the undead sword before taking the time to gather 10 coal and unlock the reforger. I use a good chunk of change to put pure on all the armor pieces and blend it on the equipment. Before heading deeper into the mines though, I quickly get combat 1 and head over to the spider's den to unlock the bestiary, and of course the grandma wolf pet too. I then craft up the standard gold shovel and enchant it with efficiency too. But before heading to the desert, I make sure to take a bite out of each of these cakes for some easy stat buffs. Then I do make my way over to the desert and start grinding some sand to get my mining level up. And then I remembered that I should probably unlock the carpentry skill, so I go ahead and purchase a stack of wool and turn in that quest. Next, I head back to the desert where for some reason I grinded all the way up to mining 12 and even managed to craft a tier 7 sand minion. Afterwards, I head straight to the mines, grab the lazy miner's pickaxe, and then head to the lapis layer because I need to unlock the dwarven mines ASAP. You might think I'm just trying to progress in mining, but in reality, I just want a easy way to enchant my armor. Upon reaching the diamond layer, I quickly grab 5 diamonds and then purchase some bookshelves to max out our enchanting setup. Back in the mines, I collect 15 enchanted lapis and unlock the dwarven mines to start grinding XP. But before doing so, I quickly snag the mithril pickaxe. After getting 30 levels, I put the luck enchant on my undead sword and immediately head over to the lapis layer to start grinding for the armor. I end up getting everything except the chest plate, but this will be more than enough for now. I make sure to put the experience enchant on my pickaxe and reforge it with the lapis crystal to have maximum XP gains. Okay, so I ended up making a big pivot because the traveling zoo was here, and what do you know, the lion pet was available for just 10k coins and 64 raw beef. So I headed straight over to the barn and started taking out cows. Pretty quickly, I was able to grab the materials and purchase the common lion pet. I then immediately took it to Cat, who's going to spend the next day upgrading it to the uncommon rarity. During some more EXP grinding, I managed to get enchanting level 10, so I crafted an experimentation table and did the mini games. And my luck continued as I was even able to grab a guardian pet, which I plan on taking over to Cat once the lion is done. I finally managed to max out the armor, getting growth and prot on all the pieces, and then wrapped up the night by getting some good enchants on the fishing rod and a sword. Okay, actually I got back on about 30 minutes later after learning there's a mining fiesta, so I decided to get a full set of prospecting armor to give us some bonus mining speed, only to realize that the mining fiesta doesn't start for 8 more hours. So I decided to start the first upgrade in the community shop, being Minion 1, and then got off for the night for real. On day 2, I log in and see that there's a mining festival starting in about an hour and 20 minutes. But until then, I wanted to try my hand at some fishing. Fisherwoman Enid tasks me with catching a quick fish to complete her quest, and afterward she tells me about a nearby fishing village. Upon arriving, it looks like I need fishing skill level 5 to progress, so I decided to fish nearby to level up my skill. And while I didn't necessarily fish up anything crazy, we did hit a pretty important milestone, being Skyblock level 6. This allows all drops to be put directly into our inventory, and I am so happy to finally have this. Shortly after, I hit fishing 5 and had a chat with fisherman Gerald, who apparently dropped the engine to his ship here in this pond. Luckily, I was able to fish it up on my first try, but then I decided to actually go unlock the Hot M quest since we're going to be doing a lot of mining. There was also a double powder event going on, so I went ahead and did the puzzler as well. There's so much I want to do right now, but I think I'm actually going to mine up some redstone here because I don't even have the accessory bag unlocked. I spent some time mining a ton of redstone, which I'll probably do even more of during the fiesta, but we did manage to get the rock pet for mining 2,500 ore. After mining some redstone. I made my way to the redstone layer in the deep caverns to turn in all of this redstone for accessory bag slots. After donating my collection, we've got a total of 12 talisman slots, so let's get collecting. At the hub, I purchased the zombie, skeleton, village affinity, mine affinity, intimidation, and scavenger talismans. With still over 15 minutes until the mining fiesta, I decided to go ahead and work on foraging because I'd love to get my hands on Melody's hair. At the hub, I craft up a gold axe and put the double bit reforge on it before talking to the lumberjack to complete his quest. And then I realized I didn't even enchant this axe, so I quickly went and put efficiency 5 on it. Next up, I head over to the birch park and collect 64 logs for Charlie, and he rewards me with his trousers? Thanks, I guess, but he does throw in the travel scroll, so I can't be too upset. Then in the spruce woods, I talk to Kelly to start the next quest and collect 128 spruce logs in exchange for her t-shirt. Following that is the dark thicket, and here I sneak up on Ryan, who asks me to stand inside of a campfire. After doing so, he says he can make us a badge, but he needs 256 dark oak logs in order to make it. Upon delivery, he gives us the campfire initiate badge, and I will be upgrading this, just not right now. Then in the Savannah Woodlands, I talk to Melody, who has apparently broken her harp and asks us to collect a massive 512 acacia logs. Once complete, she repairs her harp and gives us her shoes. But since someone else is using the harp, I decided to head over the jungle island first. Here lies Mulbert, who needs us to gather 512 jungle wood for his traps. After placing them down, it seems like he got caught in one himself. But after rescuing him, he does at least reward us with the mole hat, which completes this armor set. I then find a lobby without someone doing Melody's quest and complete all 11 songs with 100% accuracy just to flex. Oh, and I guess the talisman is cool too. Back in the hub, I meet up with Maxwell and set my power to warrior and put all my extra points in speed for now, as we aren't going to be able to get a cookie and god potion for a little while. The fiesta is starting in just 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and start chipping away at our daily commissions. I managed to turn in the first one just before the fiesta started, but my main goal was to collect as many refined minerals as possible. These refined minerals have a rare drop chance of about 1 in 500 for each ore you mine. We want to get at least 24 of these so that we can craft a full set of mineral armor. The reason this armor is so good is because it grants something called mining spread. Essentially, what mining spread does is whenever you mine a single block, it will mine 4 additional blocks if you have the complete set. So it's safe to say this is going to make mining a whole lot easier. I started the fiesta by mining cobblestone, but after getting 22 enchanted cobblestone, I wasn't sure if they could drop, so I pivoted into mithril. After some time, I managed to get my first one, but they're a whole lot rarer than I thought. Luckily, there was a Gone with the Wind event active, which helped a ton with the mithril mining. And once the wind event ended, I still only had 2 refined minerals. So I decided to move over to redstone because we need a ton of it. After almost an hour of switching mining methods, I managed to drop 5 refined minerals, and after taking a look at the recipe, I saw that it required hardened diamond armor, so I immediately got to work mining diamonds. A little later, I unlocked the recipe and immediately crafted the helmet and got straight back to mithril mining. I mined for the entirety of the event and managed to drop 4 more refined minerals and the uncommon rock pet from mining 7500 ore. Here's a quick look at my loot, which I think is pretty solid. The next mining fiesta is in 8 hours and it does start around 4 AM, but I really need this mineral armor. It's insanely lucky for me that Cole happened to be the mayor right when I started this challenge, and who knows how long it will be before he even comes back. With that in mind, we need to make some upgrades to our mining setup to collect more of those refined minerals. My 2 main goals before the next fiesta is to hit hot M2 or maybe 3 and to get a full set of mithril equipment. I also just realized that I have yet to show my death, so I went ahead and typed the /death count command to prove that I've yet to die. Next, I go ahead and craft the mineral boots and turn in 2 quests I completed during the fiesta to reach hot M2. Immediately after, there's a tasty mithril event, so I bring some to Don Espresso, and while we wait for the event to end, I went over to the forge to start making the mithril necklace and cloak. Shortly after, we get the event rewards, which were a flow state book and a mining EXP boost, which I plan to put on a future pet. I then find Cat, who finished upgrading our lion pet to uncommon, but this time I give her my guardian pet as I want to get that thing to rare ASAP for the enchanting wisdom boost. The first upgrade only takes about an hour, so we'll be back shortly. It must be my lucky day because immediately after going back to the mines, there's another tasty mithril event. And then I realized that I wasn't as lucky as I thought because I didn't get the reward since I already participated in another server. Next up, I completed another commission and decided to grind some out until I had 2 commissions that I wasn't able to complete, being the raffle event, which isn't going on right now, and slay 50 creatures, which I'm just not prepared to do. I then finally decided to turn in the rusty engine part and arrive in the backwater buyout. Junker Joel then gives me the junk sinker, and by talking to Roddy, I can apply it to my fishing rod. This gives us a very nice plus 10 treasure chance in exchange for all the treasure being junk, but that's actually really good for us. We aren't going to start fishing just yet though, because there's another thing I want to take care of. By heading over to the Mushroom Island, we can purchase a chum bucket with some glowing mushrooms, which will slowly fill up as we take out sea creatures. We need an insane 32 full buckets for the talisman, but it's never too early to start chipping away at it. Back in the buyout, I fish with the goal of filling my first chum bucket, specifically far away from other players, as I don't want them spawning powerful sea creatures to take me out. During this time, I fished up a rusty coin and a sea witch, which I was trying to cheese with my fishing rod before another player came over and took it out. I also managed to hit raw fish collection 2, which unlocks the recipe for the fishing minion. I know I haven't touched on minions yet, and there's a reason for that. I really would like a booster cookie, which allows me to fly on my island so that I can make our area look nice. Anyways, I managed to fill up my chum bucket, and while fishing, I managed to reel in 6 rusty coins, a busted belt buckle, and drop this cool reforged stone from a dumpster diver. I then brought the chum bucket back to Moby and spent some time collecting 64 glowing mushrooms to purchase 8 more chum buckets. Then I went and talked to Kat and picked up our guardian pet, who is now uncommon, but I ended up giving it right back to her to upgrade to rare, which will take 6 more hours. Back in the mines, our first 2 pieces of mithril equipment are done, so I go ahead and start the timer for the mithril belt and gauntlet. Finally, I craft a fishing minion and replace my cobblestone minion with it because I'm too lazy to set up a new spot for him. I then collected my first community upgrade for minion 1 and immediately started the next one for minion 2. By the way, what these do is allow me to have 1 extra minion for each upgrade that I do of these. Afterwards, I decided to hop off for the night because I'd be waking up again in about 3.5 hours for the mining fiesta. Day 3, I did manage to wake up, but with little sleep, I knew I'd be in for a grind. I logged on and saw that the bank interest was in about 15 minutes, so I went ahead and deposited all my money. I guess I set my alarm extra early just in case I struggled to wake up because the fiesta also wasn't starting for another 15 minutes. I then checked in on my fishing minion, but he hadn't made much progress since it had only been a couple of hours. I went ahead and refreshed my cake buffs and made my way over to the Dwarven Mines. At the forge, I collected my mithril belt and gauntlet, meaning we now had the full set of equipment. This equipment is super useful for mithril mining because it gives us a nice fortune and mining speed boost. At this point, the event was starting in just 5 minutes, so I did my best to spawn in some titanium and save it for the event so that I could get double drops. But unfortunately, some player came in and mined it all up just before the event started. I managed to spawn in a couple more before the event, and I'm pretty sure the guy ended up feeling bad because he left a ton of titanium over at his mining spot. About 30 minutes into the event, I had managed to get 3 refined minerals, and there was another tasty mithril event, so I made sure to participate. I was rewarded with some dwarven ore oats, which was super nice because it gives us a little bit of permanent mining fortune. About an hour later, I managed to collect a total of 7 refined minerals and managed to craft the leggings, meaning all that we need left is the chest plate. I stayed on again for the entire fiesta and mined exclusively mithril this time and only managed to get 1 more refined mineral before the event ended. I did once again get a really nice amount of loot though, and there are still 2 more mining fiestas, so I'm pretty confident we'll be able to complete the set. Before getting back off, I claimed my rare guardian pet from Kat, but I decided to hold off on upgrading anything else, at least for now. Afterwards, I went back to my island to empty out my fishing minion and even upgraded it to tier 2. I was pretty tired though, seeing as I had only slept for 3 hours, so I decided to go back to bed. By the time I got back on, there was already another fiesta, so I immediately headed into the mines with the goal of finishing up this armor set. There was actually a raffle event going on when I joined, and while I didn't win, it did allow me to complete another commission. However, it was replaced by one that I don't think I'll be doing for a very, very long time, because the star sentries do an insane amount of damage. I decided that this time around, I'd be focusing on redstone, as the mining spread for the pieces of mineral armor that we do have are making it so easy to collect. However, every 45 seconds or so, so I was having to open up my inventory and craft enchanted redstone manually. This time adds up a lot over the course of the entire fiesta, so I decided it would be worth it to grind out a personal compactor. What this item does is automatically craft whatever item you set it to, which means if we set it to enchanted redstone, we won't need to go into our inventory and craft it manually. In order to get this though, we need 3.5 stacks of enchanted cobblestone, and thanks to the mineral armor and double drops during the event, I was able to very quickly grab the required materials and craft the personal compactor. After setting it to enchanted redstone, I immediately got to grinding, and this definitely paid off because after just 45 minutes of the event, I already had 6 refined mithril. I also participated in another raffle where I again didn't win, but I did manage to get another pet EXP boost, which I decided to go ahead and give to my grandma wolf pet since she'll be accompanying me throughout this fiesta. Shortly after, we managed to drop the final refined mineral for the armor set, so I immediately crafted the chestplate to complete the set. I decided to take a break from redstone and start mining iron, which may sound weird, but there's something really cool that I'll be doing with it, which I'll reveal pretty soon. The mining spread this armor provides is so powerful that I managed to get 9 more refined minerals to craft a talisman, which gives us an additional 3 mining fortune. Oh, and I also ended up getting the rare rock pet for mining an insane 20,000 ore. I ended up doing a bit of coal and gold mining towards the end of the event, and yet again collected an impressive amount of loot. All that iron we just collected is actually going to be put to use right now. There's a lesser known armor set called the Golem armor, which has an impressive amount of defense and even gives you absorption 3 after defeating an enemy. I of course craft the helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots, but additionally, there's a pretty powerful sword that we can craft with 2 enchanted iron blocks. The sword has a cool right-click ability, but I'm mostly here for the high damage and strength that it provides. With our massive 274 levels, I enchant as much as I can, but even still, we have to make trips to the mines if we want to max out everything. During my EXP grind, I came across another tasty mithril event and was rewarded with another box of dwarven oats for some more permanent mining fortune. I spent the next 30 minutes going back to the mines, grinding XP, and enchanting. Mines, XP, enchant. Mines, XP, enchant. Mines, XP. I really need a booster cookie. And with this, we have a fully maxed out golem sword. I also went ahead and put pure on the entire armor set along with sharp on the sword for some extra damage. And while this armor set may look a little goofy, it will keep us very, very safe. I now feel safe enough to go fishing without the need to hide from any mobs. The fishing was going extremely well because I managed to drop a Magnet 6 book from a Rider of the Deep on my first kill, which has a humble 2% drop chance. I fished for literally 2 hours straight, but ended up stopping once the spooky festival was announced as I didn't want to risk fishing up anything too powerful. My rusty coin total is now up to 31, which is just 1 shy of the hermit crab pet. The spooky festival was starting in about 15 minutes, and while I was going to somewhat participate, I wanted to try to knock out a few more hot end quests. I took out about 50 glaciites for my first quest and actually managed to drop the leggings in the process, which is pretty cool. Right after, there was yet another tasty mithril event, so I delivered the mithril to Don Espresso and then turned in my commission. This time I actually got my first dwarven treasure, which is a super good reforge for all of the mithril equipment. I then mined 10 titanium for another commission, but then it was time for the spooky festival. My plan for this festival is to go somewhere where there will not be many players. I decided to go with the deep caverns, and additionally, I won't be opening any chests because I don't want the chance of spawning in something that could take me out. I initially started with redstone pigmen and then remembered that I'm still missing the lapis chestplate, so I moved up a layer to fight the lapis zombies and actually managed to get it pretty quickly. Yes! Oh my gosh, that's actually so fast. I grinded lapis zombies, redstone pigmen, and emerald slimes for most of the event, and even managed to get the candy talisman and candy ring. But the final mining fiesta was going to start right when the spooky festival ended, so I decided to call it early at 200 points and a total of 10 purple candy. I also managed to hit bestiary 5, which was super nice, so I went and upgraded my grandma wolf pet to uncommon. Back in the hub, I quickly used my dwarven treasure to apply the royal reforge to my mithril necklace, and I also put Titanic on the full mineral set just for some extra protection. I started the fiesta by mining 250 mithril in the upper mines for a commission, and after turning it in, I participated in a raffle and took out 50 glaciate walkers for one final commission to get us to hot M3. This unlocks 2 insanely useful perks, being the Pickobulus, which throws your pickaxe and mines a bunch of blocks, and mining spread. Since the mineral armor's mining spread doesn't work on mithril, the hot M tree mining spread does, which means we'll occasionally be able to mine an extra ore. before. I did around 8 quests during the event and eventually stopped after getting stuck with a commission that I can't do or is too risky. This mining fiesta was also at a pretty bad time, being from around 12 AM to 3 AM for me. And while I was thankful for the mining fiestas, it was pretty clear that I was ready to be done. It's over. It's over. Yes, it's over. Here's all the loot I got. I'm so tired, I am going to bed. That concludes my first 20 hours of playtime here on the hardcore Ironman. This video was a lot of fun to make, and I plan on keeping this series going as long as I can. Of course, dying would mean the end, but I'm taking extra precautions seeing that as after 20 hours, we still haven't even gone to the end. This video took an insanely long time to make, so if you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in part 2.